All right, I wanted to read you this because this.
Okay, you got something.
Yes.
You brought in homework.
I brought homework. So.
Wait, you know how to read?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Just about. I just managed English. So there was a leaked contract from 2011 between Sony and Marvel about the character integrity for Spider-Man.
No way.
And I wanted to read you guys some of the things in it because it's really funny.
Wait, so it's for the actor? Or
so Sony released. I can't remember the way it went. I think Marvel released the rights of Spider-Man.
No,
right?
Sony released the rights to Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. Sony released, but there was some things that had. Okay, yes, sorry, you're right. So Sony released the rights to Marvel, but within that there was a contract that they
released
all the rights, but there were some things that had to then be continued.
Like what?
I'll read them to you. Mandatory Spider-Man character traits. It says Spider-Man, whether Peter Parker or alternative Spider-Man character, must always strictly conform to the following mandatory traits. Ready? Spider-Man must always be male. He does not torture. Asterisks. Unless... He says, okay, if there's an asterisk, it means he's permitted to do it while he's in the black suit.
Okay.
So while he's a symbiote, he can do it. So he has to be male. He doesn't torture unless he's a symbiote.
Right.
He does not kill unless in self-defense of himself or others, unless he's a symbiote. Does not use foul language at all. Does not smoke tobacco unless he's a symbiote. Does not sell or distribute illegal drugs unless he's a symbiote. Does not abuse alcohol unless he's a symbiote.
Right.
Does not have sex before the age of 16 or does not have sex with anyone below the age of 16.
Wait, why 16? Why not 18?
I think that's the age of consent. In England, that's the age of consent.
But it's an American thing, right? It's an American character.
What's the age of consent in New York?
17.
18. No, national, it's 18.
No, it changes from state to state.
What?
The age of
it's
consent.
not a federal thing?
Nope.
I think in New York it's 17.
But still weird. 16.
Yeah.
16 is still weird. Anyway, continue.
Is not a homosexual. And that doesn't matter if he's a symbiote or not. He can't be gay.
Whoa.
So basically, if you are the symbiote,
he could be shots fired.
He could be a drug pusher. He could be
a terrorist.
He could be a terrorist.
Right.
He could
work for the Taliban, but he cannot be gay.
He could torture people and smoke crack, but he can't be gay.
What? Is there more?
I mean, symbiote Spidey has the most fun. Yeah.
It kind of sounds more interesting to me.
Peter Parker. This is the Peter Parker character traits now, right? So that was Spider-Man character traits.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
This is Peter Parker character traits. His full name is Peter Benjamin Parker. He is Caucasian and heterosexual. His parents are absent from his childhood. He has to be raised by Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Hold on,
in New York
Caucasian?
City. Yeah, that's a requirement.
Yeah, but what about the Spideyverse Spider-Man? He was like one of the best ever, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
And Spider-Man became famous because they were the first one to put like I think who was it? I don't want to misquote this. Was it a Puerto Rican Spider-Man from the Bronx or a African American Spider-Man from the Bronx?
African American Spider-Man.
And that's why the Spider-Verse was African American. Okay, cool. Right, they were one of the first ones to do that.
But maybe that's a different thing because that's a cartoon, so it's like within different contract obligations.
Right. Is this for...
It was a different human. That was Miles Morales.
Yeah, it wasn't Spider. It was Miles Morales.
Right, so Morales. That's why I thought Spanish.
No, Morales is fine. It's Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker has to be white.
Okay.
And then it says he has to gain his powers from either middle school, college, or high school. He has to gain his powers from being bitten by a spider. He designs his first red and blue costume. His black costume is a symbiote and is not designed by him. It goes through like basic stuff of like the character Spider-Man. But the thing that made me laugh is if he is the black Spider-Man, he can do what the fuck he wants. Right. He can kill, he can torture.
All bets are off.
All bets are off.
Right.
He just can't be gay.
And he has to be Caucasian.
Yeah.
He has to be heterosexual.
So a lot of this sounds awful when you say it out loud like this, but what they're really trying to do is just keep the character original to the comics.
Makes you wonder about James Bond, right?
If there's one of these contracts for him too?
Well, there's definitely one of these contracts for every single character probably in Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? There's got to be. I mean,
but I'm sure they have the same thing for like Black Panther, right? I'm sure there is some contract that he cannot be white.
I would hope.
You would hope. You would fucking
hope.
Who
would you choose though? If you had to choose a white Black Panther, who do you think could pull that off?
Who could? I don't know if anyone.
I don't know if anyone could.
It has to be someone who's universally loved. Tom Hanks.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if Tom Hanks, if he was like, I am not dead. And it's Tom Hanks like walking out like, as you can see, I am not dead.
Oh man.
Oh, Christopher Walken, I am not dead,
I just thought that was
as you know.
so interesting that like all this stuff about like drug use and tobacco, but
Right.
you know when he's Venom lets her off. Yeah, Venom. I would love a movie of like Venom or like Peter Parker.
They have a
when
movie. It's called Venom.
No, but when he when he gets
The symbiote?
taken over by the symbiote, he just becomes like, you know, runs a crack den in Queens.
But he's like actually happy.
Yeah.
Like,
He runs a crack den in Queens, but he's never gay.
Right.
Poor Peter Parker. He never gets to go through that experimental phase in high school where he tries things out. It's not fair. Oh, come on. Everyone has a phase in life where they think about it and they're like, could I be...
Well, thinking about it, okay, yeah. I mean, everyone thinks like,
And a lot of people,
who am I? What do I like?
A lot
But
of people, not everyone, but a
very
lot of people have an experimental phase.
I guess. Yeah.
You know.
I missed that, I guess.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people experiment and decide, actually, hey, it's for me. And then they carry on.
Yeah. I mean, you got to find yourself, right? You got to know who you are. You got to know who you are. But it sounds like Peter Parker already knows who he is because it's in black and white.
That's true.
Right? It's on paper.